Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole Hillary and I'm super excited to have you join So Serenity podcast today. Today we'll be talking about managing finances in marriage. I have a very special guest who I've invited to talk us through this topic today. If you know me, then you definitely know her because she's very close to my heart and always in my corner. So Georgina is a financial guru and an account manager with over a decade of experience. So I brought her here today to give us tips on how to manage finances in our marriages. So Georgina, welcome to So Serenity podcast today.
Thank you so much. It's so lovely to be here. And I would say good job on what you're doing, So Serenity. I'm massively impressed. And it's just a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So, finances in marriage is a very delicate topic because we have couples who have major issues because of finances. And oftentimes you have some couples who are savers and some are spenders. In my marriage, my husband is the saver. He works with a budget. He has a monthly budget, an annual budget, and he definitely works by it. But I am not that conservative when it comes to money. So, what do you have to say regarding managing finances in marriage?
Yeah, like you said, it's a really top topic I would say in every, marriage. It's a topic that causes a lot of friction. And people don't want to talk about it, but it's something that really needs to be spoken about. Like you said, different individuals coming together, right? Both of them have different attitude and towards money. It can cause a lot of friction, and because it's money, it involves money. People should talk about it less, but that internal friction it causes, and that puts stress on the couples, and of course other issues in marriage. So I would say it's a big topic, and yeah, for me, I just feel trying as much as possible as couples to speak as much as you can about your finances is what
Yeah.
helped me in my marriage, personally. If I want to go deep into some of the personal stuff, we used to have a bit of, issues about spending, because I won't say I'm the saver, my husband is the spender, but it's just the fact that what he likes to spend money on is different from what I like to spend money on. And, it's just little things like that cause some bit of friction. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And do you think there are some, financial goals that can help with that?
Yeah, definitely. First things is having the goals, set out financial goals as a couple.
Mhm.
And when you have the short term, medium term, long term goals as couples, you have to sit down and say, okay, how do we achieve this? And the first thing is don't compare yourself with your partner. You guys are two different individuals. Don't try to change his spending habits. Try as much as possible to find a common ground. I think that's
Absolutely.
struggle. And when you have that, with adequate planning, finding common grounds, reaching compromises, you'll be able to achieve your financial goals as a couple.
Like I said earlier, my husband is the saver, and because he's very matured, he has tried to meet me in the middle ground, and I've also tried to manage my spending habit to also meet in the middle. So yeah, planning is very essential. So, but talking about that, do you think couples having a separate account or a joint account can help with this kind of habit? And what are the pros and cons? What do you do in your marriage that has worked for you?
Right. Yeah. I would say it's entirely up to the couple because, like you said, both of them has its cons and pros. But speaking from personal experiences and from me, we as a couple have kind of done both. Back in Nigeria, we used to keep separate accounts. You have your money, we have our money. Of course, we had financial goals. We try doing a joint savings account when we can, but no one is compared to, right? So it's whenever you feel you have the spare money, you just throw in there, and you just go ahead and spend, your personal stuff. It was a lot easier. It's a lot easier in Nigeria compared to a developed country, right?
Absolutely.
A lot of friction because my husband receives some sort of money. I'm planning with that money, thinking that money is somewhere. I'm not, in over how he spends his money, and we now need to do something together as a couple. And I said, oh, that money you should have this left. And he says, oh, the money is long gone,
Oh God.
long gone, and you now have to say, okay, please, can you come back? How did you spend it? And he said, remember. That's what he used. So yeah, that used to cause a bit of friction
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
mad and yeah. So moving over to the UK, we decided to try something different. Let's have a joint account. We have a joint account where all our income goes to and all our expenses, right? At the end of the month, we have a certain amount to move to each other's personal current accounts that you can spend on your personal stuff. So it doesn't take away the individuality in it, right?
Mm.
And all your, major income is in there. Out of there, you take out money for your, savings, and all the expenses as a couple goes through that account. It has worked really good. We really talk less about money now because we kind of have a one bank account. We know what goes in, what comes out, and it just helps with the friction. So I would say it has, from personal experience, having a joint account has more pros. The only cons I would say it's the fact that you lack privacy. There's some things that you just want to do some big spending. You want to just, oh, I just think I deserve this. He's not going to stop you anyway. If you
Yeah.
have a partner that is understanding, they won't stop you, but it just takes a bit of privacy out of it. That's the only cons I would say.
Okay, that's great, really. How do financial habits impact relationship dynamics? I talked about me being the spender and my husband the saver. What are the impacts you think that will have on relationships or even marriage as a couple?
Yeah, it causes a lot of stress, it causes a lot of tension. But like I said, people should learn to judge, right? Judge less and just speak more about it. I think that will help. Try as much as possible to just ask some questions. Like, do you
Mm-hmm.
like spend money on this? Are you happy with it? You're not trying to get permission, but it's just
Mm.
for you to get that conversation going, because
Mm.
you never he has in his mind if you don't talk about it. So try as much as possible. Talk about money as often as you can. You can have monthly meetings, quarterly. Some people tend to do it maybe once in a year in January, but always try as much as possible to talk about money. Always look for the opportunity to talk about it. And when you have good financial planning as a couple, it's a partnership, which is what I tell people. Just like every business, you have to, keep track of your financial plan, and always check if you're on track in your short-term, medium, and long-term goals as a couple. And when with that conversation going on the background, and you've got the goals, then that will always help you to stay in track.
Mm. So, how often do you think couples should review their finances together? Talking from the response you've just given.
Okay. Yeah, I would say monthly, if you can, quarterly you kind of really busy, because that helps you put you both on checks to say how was the last month budget, how was last quarter budget, how are we doing with the planning, are we sticking to plan? So frequent meetings like that helps you stay in track and ensure that you're not going outside what you've planned. And things can happen, unplanned expenses can come up as well. So when you have frequent meetings to talk about this, that helps you factor in all the unplanned expenses.
Hmm. Okay, that's absolutely true. I really agree with you. And how can married couples start investing together? Being the financial guru, are there any kind of advice you can give to some of us, on how to invest and make more money?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say the first place is to understand your financial goals, which I
Mm-hmm.
for. Once you have your short, medium, and long term goals, you have to agree on a risk tolerance, because
Mm.
as individuals, you both have different risk tolerance, right? And you're going into an investment together, or, as a couple, you have to agree to say, do we want to do high risk, medium, low risk? And once you've agreed on a risk tolerance, then you have to learn together in terms of exactly what you want to invest in. So whoever is more knowledgeable in the area you want to invest in should be happy to train the other, because people are wary of what they don't know, right? So
Mm.
but training and talking about it, you're more open to doing it. So I would say train each other, learn together, you know or agree on risk tolerance, and yeah, go for it.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So, how
Yeah,
do couples set financial boundaries with extended family? I know this is very, very delicate, but people are really interested to know this.
I would say communicate them, right? To say this is where we draw the line, right? In terms of you have to help your loved ones from a cultural background that kind of are inclusive. So you have to help loved ones, but you have to communicate where you draw the line, right? And why you have chosen. So it's not about saying we don't do this. You have to give the reason, or the reason behind your choice to say
Mm.
this is where the line. And with that, everyone understands because you've communicated, you've given the reason, and everyone is happy. Everyone will adjust. But going against the boundary you set, that's what causes issues. So once the boundaries are reset, you know exactly, you've communicated it, both parties have spoken about it, you said the reason why you've drawn the line at that. Both party has to stick. I've also heard people say, I can't tell my partner or my wife everything I have. Can cause see finish, whatever that means. But she's your partner, right? You're not pretending to be who you are not. So
Exactly.
financial transparency is key for a healthy.
Mm. So I have a friend who the husband believed not to be telling the wife everything they have. And unfortunately, he passed. And the wife still doesn't know exactly what he had or where he had them, which is not a good thing, really. So it's very, very essential to come clean with your partners, no matter what and in every aspect. So thank you once again for joining. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
It's lovely to be here. I think I enjoyed having the conversation. I'm learning myself. Every day is a school day for me as well. And so I hope someone has benefited from this, and we'll just carry on. Finances is so encompassing. I'm not sure we spoke. We just
Extensively, absolutely. All
love.
right. So if you enjoyed watching this, kindly like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for joining So Serenity Podcast. And bye for now.